2 days away from the huge pay-per-view here at the Honda Center, Jake Paul, El Gallo de Dorado, taking on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. The war of words between these two guys is picked up all week long. Jake looking to move one step closer to winning a world title. Chavez Jr. looking to get back into the world title mix. The press conference starts now.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Everyone's got something to say.
There is a new king of violence, and his name is Jake Paul.
But with every comment, a fighter grows stronger. One is defending a name, the other is building one. The ring doesn't care where you come from, only if you can survive in it. Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
I'm California. It is press conference day, so we'll get to hear from all the fighters on this stacked card ahead of Saturday night's showdown. Whose mouth will be writing checks that their fists can't cash? And we are inside the Honda Center. We're just days away from the main event. Jake Paul against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., part of a stacked card that you can watch exclusively on DAZN pay-per-view. Chris Maddox here alongside Claudia Treos and the Golden Boy, the Hall of Famer, Oscar De La Hoya. Another big event here, Oscar, for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and Jake Paul to participate in. Claudia, we've been part of this fight week already for a couple of days now. You got a chance to take a look at both Paul and Chavez in the ring on Wednesday. What kind of feel did you get from both of them?
It was interesting because Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. has been in this position many times, and as usual, he says, I'm more focused, I'm ready. But there's a slight difference this time. He's a little bit more relaxed, and he understands the seriousness of this event. He understands this is his last chance to prove the fact that he is a world champion, that he has the experience, he is the veteran, and he definitely wants to teach Jake Paul how to box. Those are serious words. And on Jake Paul, I hadn't seen him this big, this strong, this fast, but he is a man on a mission. He wants to declare Chavez is a long gone part of history in boxing. He wants to make sure that there is shame to that last name, which is kind of sad.
Oscar, you are a proud Mexican-American. Julio has talked a lot about kind of trying to win back the fan base that maybe he lost after quitting against Daniel Jacobs, against Andre Fonfara, all the things that have gone on in his life the last few years. What do you think's at stake for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in this fight?
Well, the respect is at stake. I think the confidence is at stake. You know, a lot of people are not confident that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. will come into this fight in shape. My prediction was Jake Paul beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in a split decision in a good fight. But I've been watching Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. train these last few weeks, and he's in great shape. I think he knows that he has to come out swinging. No matter what, he has to come out and win this fight just to gain the confidence, to gain that fan base back that he lost in previous years. But look, Jake Paul, he's here to win. He's not messing around. I think, look, the fact that a lot of people keep counting him out, that don't believe in him, oh, you're just a YouTuber and this and that. In the meantime, he's in the gym, he's in the lab, cooking, getting ready, getting stronger, getting faster, and guess what? It's sneaking up on us. Jake Paul is finally ready for the big stage. If he beats Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., that's it. I'm dropping the mic.
Done. Done.
Over.
Well, I mentioned it is an outstanding undercard on this fight. At the top of that undercard is Zurdo Ramirez defending his unified championship. Mandatory challenger, Yuniel Dorticos, the KO doctor, who was one of the best cruiserweights in the world for a long time. Zurdo Ramirez has had quite the run in the cruiserweight division. 3 fights, 2 of them have been for titles. Now he's taking on a top guy, mandatory challenger in Yuniel Dorticos. What's the difference in Zurdo at cruiserweight that maybe we didn't see at the other weights?
I think it's all confidence. I think that the fact that he feels comfortable at this weight, he feels big, he feels strong, he feels fast, light on his feet. I've never seen a cruiserweight so light on his feet, like Zurdo Ramirez. So the fact that he's taking all comers, the fact that he has big challenges ahead of him, like David Benavidez, like Obatai, fighters that he can literally once again prove himself to the world of boxing. I think that's his motivation. I think the fact that he resurrected his career when he left Top Rank and came to us at Golden Boy, we revived him. We gave him the opportunities. He took advantage of them, and now he's gonna face a monster. This guy can bang. This guy can hit. But you know what? I think it's tailor-made for Zurdo Ramirez. I'm calling, my prediction will be Zurdo Ramirez within 8 rounds.
Claudia, he is facing a monster in Yuniel Dorticos. You just have to go on YouTube and find some spectacular knockouts. 6 years ago, stopped Andrew Tabiti, straight right hand from hell. This guy can really punch. You were around Dorticos yesterday. What kind of challenge do you think that Zurdo was in for?
Well, even though he's 39 years old, you know better than I do, the power is the power is the power. That never goes away. If anything, it actually cements itself and it becomes him. And Dorticos has that look that he's perhaps, you know, like just shuffling his feet into the ring, but he's always that dangerous. It's like you never know where that punch is gonna come from and it's gonna connect. That is the danger that he brings to the table. And the fact that he's so experienced, his Olympic experience, his amateur experience, he's seen it all. This is not new for him.
Well, Dorticos is trying to keep his career alive in this fight. Zurdo Ramirez is trying to move onward and upward to an even bigger fight. And that is a potential showdown against Jaya Pataya, which everyone has been clamoring for in the cruiserweight division. If you take a look at the ring rankings, both these guys, the 1-2 slot, Jaya Pataya, widely regarded as the #1 guy. Zurdo Ramirez, though, has a resume that's starting to stack up with some of the best names that Jaya Pataya has faced. Oscar, you have a unique perspective on this since this fight's got to go through you. You've got to make a deal with you to make this fight happen.
I do not agree with those rankings. I just don't. I think Zurdo Ramirez, the fact that he's the unified cruiserweight champion, I mean, come on, guys. He should be #1. But again, Jai Obatai is amazing. That's the guy that he must face. But again, there's a great test right in front of him and a super fight with David Benavidez. So anyway, I really believe that this is Ramirez's chance and shot to be on the major stage, because you're fighting on the undercard of Jake Paul. This is huge for DAZN, for MVP, for Golden Boy, for all the fans all over the world.
So just point of clarity, do you want to make the Zurdo Apataya fight next, or do you want to go somewhere else?
I'm not going to say if it's next or not, but I do want to make it.
Okay. And then again, making history.
Absolutely. That's what we're all about.
Yes.
DAZN, Golden Boy, Obatai, Ramirez, you can't get better than that. I mean, this is what boxing's all about. I strongly feel that if you want to impress, if you want to make a statement, in this card, MVP, where the world is going to be watching, you have to see it. You have to buy the pay-per-view this Saturday. You don't want to miss it. And then you have Floyd Schofield against Tevin Farmer. I would say this is Floyd Schofield's real first test. William Cepeda couldn't do anything to Tevin Farmer. Twice. What is Schofield gonna do? If he knocks him out, we have a star in the making.
Yeah, it's all part of what is a stacked undercard on Saturday. And it does begin with that crossroads fight between Floyd Schofield Jr. against Tevin Farmer. Farmer winless in his last 3 fights, but his stock has skyrocketed as a result of those performances. Floyd Schofield Jr. trying to bounce back after a bit of a sketchy situation over in Saudi Arabia. Then you have Avius Griffin, the knockout artist, 31 years old, trying to prove that he belongs on the big stage, gets his first real test against Julian Rodriguez. Then we have Raul Curiel, fresh off that fantastic Fight of the Year performance against Alexis Rocha. He is back, taking on Victor Rodriguez, hoping to move one step closer to becoming a world champion. Then the co-main event, Zurdo Ramirez defending his unified championship for the first time, taking on the KO Doctor, 39 years old, Yuniel Dorticos, trying to prove that he still belongs at that top level. And then we have the main event, Jake Paul, El Gallo de Dorado, taking on what many believe will be the toughest test of his professional boxing career, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who swears that he's in shape, who swears that he's ready, and he was certain that he is going to beat Jake Paul. And there's even more big fights coming up later next month, live on DAZN.
On DAZN, Usyk versus Dubois 2, July 19. He silenced Britain's best. Usyk, the brick breaker, fighting for greatness, for the flag, for legacy. But now, the dynamite is ready to explode. Dubois, reborn, sharper, stronger, a weight of a nation on his shoulders. July 19, Wembley roars beneath the lights. Who will become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world? Usyk versus Dubois 2, live only on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
And it is all part of a stacked schedule we've got here on DAZN and DAZN pay-per-view. July 5th, Jack Catterall back, trying to get back into the win column. He takes on another Eubank, Harlem Eubank, in a crossroads 147-pound fight. And a week later, Ring 3, Edgar Berlanga against Hamza Shiraz, two hard-hitting 168-pounders. And we got Shakur Stevenson against William Zepeda, an anticipated fight in the lightweight division. And then a week after that, Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois, they are going to run it back once again. In 2023, Usyk knocked out Daniel Dubois. Daniel Dubois has won 3 fights in a row since then, most recently a knockout win over Anthony Joshua. He believes it's going to be a lot different this time around. All that coming up on DAZN and DAZN pay-per-view. Buy at DAZN.com. And we're ready to get this press conference started. Let's go up to the stage to our Master of Ceremonies, Mr. Todd Grisham.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the Pond here in Anaheim, California, the site, Honda Center of today's press conference, brought to you by Most Valuable Promotions, Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., presented by Nikisa Badarian and Jake Paul from Most Valuable Promotions. We're going to start off by thanking the sponsors. Event Ticket Center. Don't just watch it, experience it live. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Fansly, the best 18 and over content creator site. Head over to fansly.com/Paul Chavez to see exclusive content from our events and more of our beautiful ring card models. Torque Law, representing the people, and by Celsius, Live Fit Essential Energy. And by Ticketmaster. Tickets are still available in a limited capacity for Saturday night's fight between Paul and Chavez Jr., and the price point begins at just $44. This Saturday, of course, marks the return to Jake Paul back to the ring for the first time since November's blockbuster event and his victory over Mike Tyson, which shattered records and became the most streamed sporting event ever with 108 million live viewers globally. And now as he enters back into the ring, he faces what many consider to be the toughest test of his young career as he squares off against the former middleweight champion of the world, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. In the co-main event, Zurdo Ramirez is back and he'll defend his unified cruiserweight championships against the mandatory challenger and one of the most dangerous KO artists in the world today. 27 wins, 25 coming by way of knockouts. He is the KO doctor, Yuniel Dorticos. Several other fantastic matchups to tell you about. In fact, how about we start by bringing the fighters onto the stage right now. First up, we'll welcome the headlining bout of our preliminary card, 10 rounds in the women's lightweight division. Introducing first, with a record of 10-0, she's undefeated. This 29-year-old is one of Mexico's brightest young stars, and she's ready to make her mark on a global stage. Please welcome MVP signee from Sonora, Mexico, Yolanda Vega. And facing her, ladies and gentlemen, one of the most dominant two-sports athletes in history. She has a boxing record of 33 wins and only 2 losses, with 9 wins coming by way of knockout. She's a former UFC bantamweight champion and an 18-time boxing world champion, recognized as the #2 greatest pound-for-pound female fighter in BoxRec's history. She is the preacher's daughter, making her way back into the sport she loves so much, the sweet science. Please welcome, from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Holly Holm. And now to the first fight of our main pay-per-view card, in a fight that might very well steal the show. Please welcome the former IBF featherweight champion of the world, fighting out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He's 33-8-1 with 8 knockouts. He is Tevin Farmer. And facing him, one of the most exciting young fighters in the world today. At just 22 years old, he's undefeated. 18 wins, no losses, and 12 coming by way of knockout. Please welcome to the stage, from Austin, Texas, he is Kid Austin, Floyd Schofield. And next on the pay-per-view main card, a 10-round welterweight bout contested at 147 pounds. First up, a 33-year-old rising star with a fantastic amateur background, with a record of 23 wins, only 1 defeat, 14 of his wins coming by way of knockout, fighting out of New Jersey, USA, Julian Hammer Hands Rodriguez. His opponent promises to make a major mark on the world stage Saturday night. 17-0 with 16 knockouts, a 94% KO rate. He is an undefeated powerhouse, an MVP signee, fighting out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Avius, the underdog, Griffin.
Knock him out.
Next on the pay-per-view card is a battle of 2 undefeated fighters in the 147-pound weight class. This 29-year-old is one of the fastest rising welterweight contenders in South America, representing Uruguay. Please welcome to the stage, with a record of 16 wins, no losses, 1 draw, 9 wins coming by way of knockout, Victor Latigo Rodriguez. And his opponent, a 29-year-old former Olympian, represented by Golden Boy Promotions, an undefeated Mexican welterweight standout and the #4 WBC contender, fighting out of Tapas, Mexico, Raul Cougar Curiel. And now to our co-main event of the evening, and it is for the WBO and WBA Cruiserweight Championships of the World. Introducing first, he is the challenger with an outstanding record. 27 wins, only 2 defeats, with 25 wins coming by way of knockout, fighting out of Cuba. He is Yuniel, the KO Doctor, Dorticos. And now, the champion. Renowned for his explosive power and his amazing footwork and technique, he is the first ever man to win a cruiserweight championship from the country of Mexico. 47-1, ladies and gentlemen, with 30 wins coming by way of knockout. Put your hands together for Zurdo Ramirez.
I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be. When niggas try to take my life away, I put a hole in a nigga fucking with me. But back to the wall, now you gon' see. Better watch how you talk when
And now to our main event. First up, one of the most recognizable names in all of boxing. Coming off a unanimous victory win over MMA icon Uriah Hall in July 2024, he now sets his sights on solidifying his legacy, ladies and gentlemen. He is the former middleweight champion of the world. Out of Sinaloa, Mexico, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And now to the man who made this all possible. As I mentioned, his last fight was streamed live by 108 million viewers globally. He's made a significant impact on boxing, bringing new eyes to the sport, campaigning for fighter pay, uplifting women's boxing, and partnering with the USA Olympic Boxing Committee. And now he sets his sights on a future world title shot, getting set to face off against the toughest opponent of his career. He is the disruptor, the pride of Puerto Rico, the problem child, Jake El Gallo de Dorado Paul. All right, okay, here we go. Well, Jake, I'll turn it over to you first. There was obviously a reason why you picked Chavez Jr. as your opponent. You could have fought anybody you wanted to. Why did you pick this Mexican?
Yeah, look, he's a great fighter. I like big names. I like legendary names. And he's on my path to world championship. This is a tough test, a very, very tough test. But I'm here to challenge myself and do big things in this sport and then make a title run after I beat him on Saturday.
Julio, I saw earlier today on Instagram, a video was posted of you urinating on a picture of Jake Paul. Do you care to explain what that was all about?
What picture? Oh, yeah. Dile que le di lo que le gusta.
There you go. I don't think I need to explain that one.
What I can say?
Yes, what was that about? That's disrespectful, no?
¿De qué se trató eso? Fue un poco falta de respeto. Estoy aquí, no te preocupes.
¿De mi parte?
From his part?
No?
You don't think so? ¿No crees?
Después de todo lo que él ha dicho, dile.
After everything he said, I don't think so.
Jake, did that hurt your feelings to see that?
No, but he should know that it's illegal to play with a little boy's wee-wee.
Huh?
Julio, what are your thoughts on Jake Paul as a fighter? Do you think he's good, and can he be a future world champion like he says he can?
No, I don't think he's good. I think he train hard, but he's not a good fighter. No es buen boxeador. Jake Paul no es buen boxeador, todo el mundo lo sabe, o sea, está fuerte, pero nada más, o sea, pues si él es buen boxeador, pues entonces todos los de aquí son leyendas, o sea, no es bueno Jake Paul, para mí no es buen boxeador. Le echa ganas.
So he's definitely not a good boxer. If he were a good boxer, then everybody here at this stage would be a legend. So no, I don't think he's a good boxer, and everybody knows that.
Jake, how much do you think Chavez Jr. has left in the tank?
He's coming prepared. You know, he's saying this is the hardest he's ever trained, and he's right. I'm not a good boxer. I'm a great boxer, and he's going to find out on Saturday night.
Off your shit, Jake.
All right, more from the main event fighters in just a minute, but let's start down to the far end of the right, please. Again, give it up, everybody, for Holly Holm, who's back in the fight game. Holly, how much did you miss boxing, and why did you come back now?
Oh, you know, I just like to follow my heart, follow my passion, and this is what my heart's telling me to do right now, is to come back to boxing. Out of all the years I boxed before, I never got to fight at this weight class, and my majority of my whole MMA career was at this weight class, and I feel like it's unfinished business to come back and be able to fight in a 4th division and try and go for another title.
Now that you're focused back on boxing full time again, how do you feel? Do you think you can be as good as you were when you left the sport?
I think I'm going to be better. I've learned over this last decade. It's not just going back to what I did, 10 years ago. It's the fighter that I've become now, and the skill set that I've still learned throughout the last 10 years. I've been in the gym, so there's time spent, there's ring time spent, and I'll be a better fighter than I was when I was boxing before.
And you'll be taking on Yolanda Vega. Yolanda, what does it mean to you to face a legend, an 18-time world champion like Holly Holm?
Alguien con tanta veteranía como la de Holly Holm.
Pues para mí es un orgullo el competir con una deportista como Holly, pero creo que tiene que quedarle bien claro que ya es tiempo que se retire, que las nuevas generaciones nos vamos a hacer cargo del boxeo.
It's a huge pride to be able to have somebody like Holly Holm with her experience as an opponent, but I think it's going to be time for her to realize that this is the time for the new generation and she needs to retire.
Well, Yolanda, we don't know too much about you. How do you beat Holly Holm? What can fans expect to see from you Saturday night?
No sabemos mucho de ti. ¿Qué tienes que hacer tú para llevarte la victoria?
El trabajo está hecho en el gimnasio. El día sábado 28 lo vamos a demostrar. Y pues nada, el mundo va a conocer una nueva mexicana que va a dar guerra arriba del ring.
The work has been done at the gym, and on Saturday, they will realize that there's a new Mexican that's going to give face for the Mexican flag.
All right, good luck to you. How about Tevin Farmer, ladies and gentlemen, the former IBF super featherweight champion of the world is here with us. Tevin, you're taking on a young gun in Floyd Schofield. What do you make of him and his skills, and what's going to happen?
Every time I get asked that question, I just really try to think. Stepping up to this level, I think nothing of him, but in general, as a young fighter, competing with somebody that's not a veteran like me, if you were to compete with somebody at his level, I would say he's a great fighter. But stepping up to this level, I don't know.
Well, Floyd Schofield, when you learned that you were going to be fighting Tevin Farmer, what were your thoughts on the former champ?
I was excited. I haven't fought since November. So, Tevin, he's been on a good 3-fight, streak, whatever you want to call it. So when we got the call, I was just excited. I told my dad, take the fight. I'm ready.
Speaking of your dad, you had to pull out of your last fight with Shakur Stevenson. A chance for you to clear the air now. You had to go to the hospital. What happened to you? Your dad seems to think that maybe you were poisoned over in Saudi Arabia. What happened to you?
So I don't really want to get too much on that topic, but what it is, people gonna believe it, some people not. I didn't get to take the fight, so I'm here now.
And what will you do to Tevin Farmer on Saturday? You saw his 2 wars he just had with Zepeda. He's a very, very tough fighter, tough to get him out of there. I know you think you can knock him out.
That ain't happening.
Saturday night we're gonna see. I feel like he's underestimating me. We gonna see. So the second Zepeda fight was a little shaky.
You see, he ain't say he gonna knock me out. He said we gonna see what happens.
I don't gotta knock you out. I don't gotta knock you out.
I know.
Ass.
You want?
I don't gotta knock you out to do that.
You ain't doing that shit.
Okay, we gonna see.
Yeah,
we gonna
you
see.
ain't doing that shit.
Okay.
Tarver, why aren't you that impressed with him?
Say that again.
Why aren't you that impressed with him?
You know boxing, right? You watch boxing? You know why.
Is he better than William Zepeda?
Tevin Farmer and Kid Schofield. Think about it. You know boxing. You know why. You want me to say it?
Say it.
They know why.
Go say it, bro.
Yeah, say it. There's a press conference. The world wants to hear you.
What do he do great that I haven't seen ever? Like, he's stepping in with Tevin Farmer, right? I got so much shit he never seen that we gonna test his composure. We gonna test everything about him. There's nothing he can test on me that I haven't been through.
You said
he's
that
not
was
stronger
Zepeda.
than me. He's not smarter than you. Not Zepeda. He's
you
not
said
strong.
That with JoJo.
You not JoJo.
What about Pedraza?
You not Pedraza.
Okay then, so
you not Pedraza.
I'm telling you.
I could damn sure tell you Renee is not me.
He hit way harder than you. You got 8 knockouts.
Yeah. You
and I pitched the shutout.
You could tell you don't know shit about boxing.
You
could tell you don't know shit about boxing when you go by record.
What you gonna see Saturday?
Knockouts mean you was built the right fucking way. That's what knockouts mean. You was built and you had a promoter to put you in front of the right people to knock the fuck out. That don't mean you punch hard. My last 7 opponents, they all was hurt. 3 of them got knocked out cold and 5 of them touched the canvas.
You complaining about
all of them way more elite than you.
Bro,
all of them.
I'm saying,
listen,
you bragging about being a loser.
Listen, bro, don't
listen.
Hey, don't remember when I was the world champion, you was a kid studying me.
Right.
Yeah, was you?
Right.
Yeah, I know you was a kid. So don't lose control, youngin.
I'm telling you, I'm gonna have all control Saturday night.
I'm gonna bring a belt to the ring. I'm gonna bring a belt to the ring.
Please do.
I'm bringing a belt to the ring.
I love to see it.
I'm gonna make your daddy. I wanna make your daddy cry.
Please
make your dad cry.
Please
That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm telling you,
make
please
your dad cry. Listen, I'm gonna still love you after though. I'm gonna still love you.
Hell yeah, it's all love at the end of the day. It's
business. Yeah. Blood, some blood gotta be shed.
Right.
And it's gonna be shed Sunday. It ain't gonna be my fucking blood. And after that, I'm gonna pat you on your back and tell you keep your fucking head up and keep going.
Saturday night, boys. Saturday night, boys.
Sound real good.
That will start off our pay-per-view card. Tevin Farmer and Floyd Schofield apologize for some of that colorful language. Also on the dais with us tonight, Avius the Underdog Griffin. Your nickname is the Underdog, but you are the favorite Saturday. Why do you still have that nickname, and what does it mean to you?
The Underdog name, it just come from a lifestyle, coming from where I'm coming from, Chattanooga, Tennessee. Small neighborhood called North Brandon. A lot of people don't make it out. A lot of people don't make it this far on stage with Jake Paul amongst these type of boxers, high level. So, it just come from striving off doubt, man, being doubted and still rising to the occasion every time.
Well, you'll be taking on Julian Hammerhands Rodriguez. He's only lost once in his pro career. You've knocked out 16 of your 17 opponents. Are you confident you could stop this guy too?
Yes, sir, man. I'm here to do what I do. He's supposed to be a tough opponent on paper, but I done overcame way more tougher things in life. I done faced murder charges. It was innocent, 23-1, all type of things like that. So a guy with some 2 pair of gloves on, he ain't talking about shit.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Well,
all right.
Well, Julian, here you are. This is your chance back on a big stage, a big platform. What do you make of your opponent, and what are you going to do Saturday night?
First off, I'd like to thank God for this opportunity, MVP Promotions, as well as Jake. And listen, I'm coming with everything on Saturday. This is a different level for him. He's not ready for this level. I know what I see. I know exactly what I see, and I'm gonna exploit all this man's power, all that on Saturday night.
Yeah. You told the
you got a big mouth. You shut your mouth. You got a big mouth for nothing.
You told the boxing boys something about a lifestyle. You don't know shit about me.
Get
Nobody
the fuck out of here.
knows shit about me.
The Met Gala's that way. This ain't the Met Gala, bro. Take them glasses off. It's too bright for you over here.
I don't want to see you lame, man.
You're
That's why
gonna
I got my Versace glades on. And they 450, boy.
Don't let Mr. TikTok blow your head up. I'm coming on Saturday.
Hey, I'll beat the fuck out of you too, bitch boy.
Hey, it sounds good.
You're
it sounds
tiny,
real good.
bro. You're tiny, bro.
All right.
I know you trying to climb back to the top. You let Paraga's hands ass touch you
That's
up.
right.
But it ain't gonna happen this Saturday. You got the 6% chance of making out that ring, boy.
You need daddy to talk for you.
beat your ass.
You need daddy to talk for you.
And then I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
put it on TikTok.
Go ahead, Mr.
I'm gonna put you
YouTube.
on TikTok in front of all my viewers
Okay.
getting fucking slept by this
There you
goat
go.
right here. Future
I can't
goat
hear you.
Habeas
Good.
Griffin.
I hope so. I
can't hear you.
Dumbass, I'm the promoter. I don't even know your fucking name.
Go ahead. You're a YouTuber, bro. You're a YouTuber. Go ahead.
And you were used to being.
All right, can't wait to see that one. And of course, we also have, he is back after a Fight of the Year performance last year. Raul Curiel is here from Guadalajara, Mexico. Raul, tell us about that fight you had with Alexei last year, what that meant to you, and what can we expect from you when you're back in the ring Saturday?
Over here. First of all, I'm from Tampico, Tamaulipas, Mexico. Arriba, Mexico, of course. First of all, I'm gonna thank God to be here. It's a blessing to be here. Thank Golden Boy Promotions, Most Value Promotion, to give me the opportunity to put on the show. My manager, Frank Espinosa. And my last fight was a Fight of the Year contender. This fight is not gonna be the exception. Can't wait to put on the show. I always bring war, and this fight is not gonna be the exception. I'm ready.
Can he handle your power? Do you think he can?
We'll see. We have a tremendous camp with Robert Garcia now, and I'm very confident in my skills, and I'm one of my best shapes in my career, so I'm confident in my skills, and I can't wait to put on the show.
And you'll be fighting Victor Rodriguez, fighting out of Uruguay. What are your thoughts on your opponent?
No speaking English.
Oponente. Víctor, ¿qué opinas de tu oponente?
No tengo mucho para decir, sino más que nada hablar de mí, que vine a ganar y a poner mi país en alto. Yo vengo de Uruguay, un país chiquito, capaz que muchos no lo conocen, pero el sábado en la noche se va a hacer gigante, así que estén pendientes que va a ser una gran pelea.
I don't know much about him. I'm not going to talk about him. I'm going to talk about myself. I'm ready. I did my work, and I come representing a very small country. Maybe you guys don't know Uruguay, but on Saturday, it's going to be a big country.
What can you tell us about your style, and do you think you can stop this guy?
¿Qué nos puedes decir de tu estilo y crees que puedes parar a Curiel?
Sí, sin duda, si no creyera que pudiera pararlo, no estaría acá. Y la verdad va a ser un gran espectáculo.
Vamos a ver si es cierto, compadre. Vamos a ver si es cierto. Párate al ring y vamos a pelear. No digas que me vas a parar.
A eso venimos, hermano.
Vente, qué bueno, y que te vayas preparado muy bien, porque yo también vengo bien preparado.
Qué bueno. Así que bueno, ten pendiente, va a ser una gran pelea. Quiero agradecer a mi promotor Samson Lokovic, a mi entrenador César Coronel y a todo Uruguay y Argentina que van a estar pendientes de la pelea del sábado.
He says, of course, I think I'm going to be able to stop him. If not, I wouldn't be here. And of course, the one thing that I can promise is going to be a great show. And then Raul chimed in and he said, well, be ready because I'm looking forward to that, compadre. So the give and take was quite interesting.
All right, so now let's turn our attention to the co-main event of the evening. It is for the Unified Cruiserweight Championship of the World, and we'll start first with the challenger fighting out of Cuba. You're 39 years old. This might be your last chance on a big stage like this. What are you going to do when you face off against Zurdo?
Ya tienes 39 años de edad, tal vez esta sea la última oportunidad para estar en un escenario de este calibre. ¿Qué tienes que hacer tú el sábado contra el Zurdo Ramírez cuando lo veas cara a cara?
Bueno, primeramente le doy las gracias a Dios por estar aquí y estas bellas personas que se encuentran aquí, que vinieron a apoyarnos, y decirle que 39 años no es nada y no voy a repetir lo mismo, ya hemos hablado sobre esto. El sábado se va a demostrar que son los 39 años míos.
He says, first of all, I want to thank God because I'm here. I want to thank everybody, very beautiful people that are here supporting us. And third, I'm not going to keep repeating the same thing, but I'm going to show you guys that 39 years is really nothing.
Do you think Zurdo is the best cruiserweight in the world?
¿Crees que el Zurdo podría ser el mejor peso crucero del mundo?
Bueno, eso tiene que demostrarlo el sábado. El sábado va a haber una guerra.
He's got to show up on Saturday because on Saturday we're going to have a war.
All right, and now to the champion Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, anytime you step in the ring with a Cuban fighter, it's going to be a very difficult fight. What are you expecting the fight to look like on Saturday?
Oh, well, thank you everyone to be here. Thank you everyone to make this possible. And Saturday night, I expect a war. I expect that he can really prepare and what he say. Espero que venga bien preparado para un buen espectáculo a toda la gente y pues el sábado vamos a ver por qué Zurdo Ramirez es el campeón. Everyone will see why Zurdo Ramirez is the champion, unified.
Well, they call him Dr. KO, 25 knockouts in his 27 wins. Do you fear his power?
They call me Juan Wick, and I'll be prepared for Dr. KO.
All right, in a minute, we're going to open up questions to our media, but I'll turn it back to Jake. You've heard from all the fighters on your side of the dais. Which fight besides your own are you most excited to see?
Man, this is a stacked card. This is how MVP does it. No one else is doing it like this in boxing. We have amazing fights all the way through. I mean, I grew up watching Holly Holm. Floyd Schofield's incredible talent. My first fight, I was on the same card as Tevin Farmer. There's a lot of history here. We got the young Avius Griffin fighting against, I don't know his name. And then
there's 4 fighters on this stage that'll knock you out, Jake.
This is going to be amazing.
There's 4 fighters on this stage that'll knock you out.
And there's one motherfucker who'll shoot you in the fucking head. That's me, bitch.
Bing bong. Here we go.
Damn.
I thought he was falsely accused. Now you switch the story? All right.
All right, Julio, you've heard Jake talk all week. He's very good at talking trash. Has he gotten under your skin a little bit compared to some of your past opponents?
No. Dile que ya lo esperaba yo de él. Dile.
No, not really. I was expecting that from him.
Dile, pues qué otra forma él puede llamar la atención. Dile, si no es de esa, pues no, en el box, pues no hay nada que él pueda presumir, pues.
It's the only way for him to get that kind of attention, because in boxing he really has nothing to be presumptuous about.
Y pues estoy listo.
And I am ready.
You've been very adamant that you will win this fight. In fact, you say if you don't, you'll retire. Your father says there's no way that you're going to lose this fight. Why are you so confident that you're going to beat Jake Paul?
Has estado muy certero en el hecho de que te vas a llevar la victoria y que tu padre mismo ha dicho que no hay ninguna forma de que Jake Paul vaya a ganar esta pelea. ¿Qué te hace tan seguro de este resultado?
No, dile mi preparación y pues yo vengo a ganar. Dile, siempre que peleo, vengo a ganar. No es la excepción y por eso tengo confianza en mi victoria, pues.
My preparation, I always prepare to take a win. I'm here to win, and that's why I'm very confident that I am going to take the win.
Zurdo Ramirez, you were on record saying you would bet your house that Chavez Jr. is going to beat Jake Paul. Would you like to bet with Jake Paul now? He just bought a $39 million house in Florida. Jake, do you want to put that on the line?
What's that? What did you say?
You said you would bet your house that Chavez beats me?
I don't know. I didn't say anything. Yeah.
He's changed his mind.
Tu madre está cagada, güey.
All right, we're going to ask the media to stand up here and ask a few questions here to our dais. Please state your name, where you're from, and who your question's directed to.
Hi, good afternoon to everyone. Erika Montoya from El Heraldo de Mexico. Jake Paul, this is my question for you. I want to know, what does it mean to you, the Latino fans, the Mexican fans, for your history?
Yeah, no, I love it. You know, and I'm fighting to represent Puerto Rico for this fight. And the Mexicans are on my side, right? Peso Pluma said yesterday that I'm going to win. Is that your guy? Is that your guy? Because it seems like he's my guy. Seems like he's my fucking guy.
And my other question is for...
I don't know what that means.
That's good. Julio, mi siguiente pregunta es para ti. ¿Cómo se le gana a Jake Paul?
Pues peleando. Peleando. Sí, es la única manera de ganar las peleas, peleando con determinación y con mucha condición.
¿Tu pelea tiene algún tipo de... va dedicada a alguien, sobre todo a la gente de Los Ángeles, a los mexicanos aquí?
Pues sí, a todos los mexicanos que están pasando por problemas ahorita, por lo del ICE, todo eso, pues es un bonito momento para que gane la pelea y darle esa victoria pues a todos los latinos, a muchos mexicanos que están luchando contra las deportaciones y todo eso.
Gracias.
Hey, Donna Corby from Bloody Elbow. Julian, I wanted to ask, are you surprised that Jake has kind of gone after you like this, and would you be willing to maybe tack on a few pounds and go up and fight him in the future?
Yeah, I'll eat a few steaks for that bum. Of course, there's no skill there, but I'm not surprised. I know he has to carry Avius, because this is Avius' first time around, so he has no experience. So it's all right.
Wait, whoa. I've been pay-per-view. This shit just new to you, Jack.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
This is the first stage you've been on, Avius. Shut your mouth.
I've been on the big stage.
Yeah, okay.
My whole life, boy.
All right.
A question for Jake as well. At the presser yesterday, you mentioned, wanting to get ranked and how this fight is to get there. Is it possible your next fight is for a world title?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm focused on Saturday night. I have a tough opponent in front of me. Everyone needs to get the pay-per-view, DAZN, pull up, be there. But, man, I'm just focused on Chavez. He's a former world champion, and we'll take it from there after Saturday night.
Jack Fig from The Sun. Question for Julio. In the face-to-face, it was said if you lose, you're done with boxing, you'll go into hiding. Do you feel like your career is on the line Saturday night?
Dile que fue algo por decir, que no le pongan atención, no voy a perder, y no, fue algo por contestar lo que me preguntaron. Dile, no, ni voy a perder, ni me voy a retirar, voy a ganar, y él va a seguir con su carrera de...
¿Carrera de qué?
Ya sabemos.
He says, no, I just said that to say something. He's definitely not going to lose. He's not going to retire. He's going to continue with his career, and then Jake Paul is going to do whatever it is that he needs to do.
Jake, do you feel like he's fighting for his career on Saturday?
Oh, yeah, this is it for him. And I feel bad. I'm genuinely sorry. I want to apologize in advance because I know the emotional turmoil you're going to go through. You're going to go into hiding. That's who you are. You love to go and hide. And so that's what's going to happen. And I really want to say I'm sorry for what's going to happen. And I'll be there for you, too, after. I'm always there for my opponents after I beat their ass. So I'll be there for you.
Dile que si tiene sed. Dime. Si tiene sed.
Are you thirsty?
Drink Celsius. Yeah, of course, bro.
Yes.
What do you mean?
Plastic, nothing?
What are you talking about?
Weight problem. No?
Oh, no, I feel great.
Okay.
You're dumb as fuck, to be honest. That's it's constant.
Charlotte Daly for the Mail Online. Chavez, this is one for you. Is this money for you? Is this fight all about money for you? Because in terms of the upside, I mean, if you beat Jake, people are going to say that you should have beaten Jake. If you didn't beat Jake, people are going to say that your career is over. They're already talking about retirement for you. What is the upside for this fight for you?
Que si tomaste esta pelea por la plata, porque en realidad no tienes una forma de ganar, porque si lo derrotas, tenías que derrotarlo, y si pierdes, obviamente tu carrera está acabada, no tienes forma de ganar.
Eso piensa la gente que no sabe de boxeo, dile, porque se piñan con lo que él hace en las redes sociales, dile, pero en realidad él como boxeador, él nunca ha hecho nada, dile, o sea, no sé por qué dicen que es no sé quién, o sea, la verdad.
Pero la pregunta es más, ¿cuál es la mejor? ¿Qué sales ganando con esta contienda? ¿Qué te llevas tú en tu carrera?
Una pelea más, o sea, es una pelea más ganada. Él trae mucha fuerza mediática porque hace muchas estupideces y la gente lo voltea a ver. Entonces, aprovechar eso, que él está en el box porque le está echando ganas, y aprovechar todo eso para ganar la pelea, pues.
Well, he said first, I don't understand why people keep saying that he is anything. Like they're just stuck with his social media persona. And then to answer your question, well, I'm using the fact that he brings a lot of following, and this is another win in my career. And obviously, I'm going to use and capitalize on the fact that he has a lot of visibility.
Jake, for you, we're talking about rankings after this fight. Is there a pressure on you to perform? Do you want a spectacular stoppage, or are you okay with going the distance? Are you trying to put on an extra show for that ranking?
No, yeah, I'm going to knock him out. That's what I came here to do. First round, it's going to be early night. He's going to get hit with the right hook right away, and I'm going home early. We don't get paid for overtime. This is going to be a spectacular performance, and there's not a lot of pressure. I'm prepared.
Jake, just last one. Oscar De La Hoya has actually been quite positive about you in this fight and your road to world champion. Where is Oscar right now? How come he's not on stage at this press conference with you?
He's here somewhere. I just seen him. I think he's just chilling, you know. But he's a great guy. He knows real talent when he sees it. I think he's probably the first big name in boxing to agree with my dream that I can become a world champion, and he sees it, and he sees the talent in me, and very appreciative of that. And together with Golden Boy and MVP, we've put together an amazing card.
My name is Kevin Garcia, aka the Puerto Rican KKG, and my question's for Kid Austin. You know, a few times this week you've been asked about what happened in February, and I've heard you respond to that just by saying like, hey, I don't want to talk about it. But Kid Austin, my question is, why not just give a definitive response so that your haters who say you ducked and the fans who wanted to see it can get some clarity?
All right. So the whole reason is if I put out what's out there, it's gonna like blow. It's gonna be too much. So we letting, you know, Golden Boy and the Saudis handle that. So, you know, I can't overlook Tevin. That's what we focus on.
Fair enough. And just a quick follow-up for you, Tevin. I mean, same thing. I've heard you asked about that situation a few times. You said, you know, I got other things going on. I'm not paying attention to that. But Tevin, I know you know what happened in February. Do you think he intentionally missed that fight?
You said you heard I what?
You have responded to that question like.
Oh yeah, somebody asked me a question recently about it.
Yeah, and you said, you know, I wasn't really paying attention, but I'm sure you know what happened in February, Tevin, do you think he intentionally missed that fight?
Honestly, I'm gonna give you two questions. Honestly, I don't think he intentionally did it. And number two, I really wasn't paying attention. Anybody that know me on social media, boxing is not my thing outside of me training. I don't keep up with it. I like to cook. So I don't keep up with this shit, but I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, we're going to turn our attention now to Claudia Trejos, who has an interested observer. Claudia?
Very interested observer right now. We have Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And yes, what? I know you speak English.
Quiero decir algo, Jet, con todo respeto. Fuck.
That was for you, Jake. But, you know, there's a lot of...
What did he say?
I'll get fired. I'll get fired. But, you know, let's keep it simple. Jake is saying that this is done. That Junior, his career is over.
Es bullshit. Jet es puro bullshit. Es mierda. Es puro wow, 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 wow.
There you go. So, since you know very well what it is to be in the ring in a platform of this size, what does Junior need to do on Saturday? Tú conoces muy bien esta posición, esta clase de escenario. ¿Qué necesita hacer Junior el sábado?
Ya sabe lo que tiene que hacer mi hijo, ¿me entiendes? Jet Paul se va a llevar la sorpresa de su vida. Piensa que va a pelear con Mike Tyson, ¿me entiendes? Pero Mike Tyson no tiró ni un solo golpe. ¿A quién le ganó? No le ganó a nadie. Julio le va a pegar la chinga de su vida.
He knows exactly what to do. Jake Paul just fought against Mike Tyson, who didn't even throw one punch. This is not Mike Tyson. You are going to get your ass whooped.
No hay manera de que le gane Jake Paul.
There is no way Jake Paul can
Esta preparación que hizo Julio, Jake Paul no la sabe, ¿entiendes?
This camp, Jake Paul doesn't know it.
Va a salir a tirarle chingazos y Jake Paul va a andar corriendo como gallina.
Julio's going to go in throwing some serious punches, and you're going to be running like a chicken without a head.
Yeah, we've heard it all before.
All right, before we do our stare downs, I want to get a couple of predictions of other fights. Jake, who do you think is going to win the co-main event? Do you think it'll be Zurdo Ramirez, or will it be the KO doctor in Dorticos?
Yeah, look, I mean, it's going to be a tough fight. I think if the KO doctor can't KO him, like his nickname says, and I think Zurdo will pull it off.
What about you, Julio? Do you think Dorticos or Zurdo Ramirez wins? Zurdo? Holly Holm, who wins between Jake Paul and Chavez Jr.?
Damn.
I'm excited for this. I think that a lot of people are talking behind the scenes, and Jake's putting in work while everybody's talking, you know? So I think we're going to see a new Jake, but he's going to be up against his toughest opponent yet, and so I'm excited to see what they both have.
Yolanda, who wins, Jake Paul or Chavez Jr.?
Soy mexicana. Creo que con eso contesto.
She's Mexican, and that's the way I answer.
Tevin, what about you? Jake Paul have enough to beat the former champ?
So me, I said this plenty of times, right? I said it in a lot of interviews. I see it as a 50-50, 45-55 fight, right? And I'm leaning, if Chavez come focused and come in shape like he used to be, I think he may can pull it off based on the experience. But on the other side, I know Jake Paul trained really hard and really dedicated. And if Jake Paul, like I say in interviews, if he can pull his fight off, he's in the game for real. And I don't want to hear nobody talking nothing.
Julian, you're a student of the game. What do you think between Tevin Farmer and Floyd Schofield? Who wins that fight?
I'm rocking with my boy Tevin. Too much skills, man. Too many skills, too experience. And I think Schofield might be underestimating Tevin.
Raul, what do you think about the main event? Jake Paul or Chavez Jr.?
Oh, definitely it's going to be a great show for the fans. I know personally Julio. We used to train in the wild card. I know if he's put on the work, if he's get focused in the training, he always bring a good show. But part of Jake, I know he take boxing very serious, and I think it's going to be a great show. It's going to be a great fight. And para todos los mexicanos, pues ya sabemos, apoyamos aquí a México, y también un gusto ver aquí al gran campeón mexicano aquí en la arena. Vamos a tener un buen show para toda la gente del boxeo. It's going to be a great show for all the boxing fans.
And Zurdo, I know you've been very shy today, and he's sitting right next to you. Does Jake Paul lose to Chavez Jr.?
El jale no para. A huevo. Sin moco en Sinaloa.
Work doesn't stop.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to have our fighters please clear the stage. You guys please go to the right, and everyone here please to the left, and then we'll bring everyone back for our stare downs.
Yeah.
Make their way backstage. Please welcome the CEO and co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions, Nakisa Badarian, and the chairman and CEO of Golden Boy, the Hall of Famer, Oscar De La Hoya. And a quick reminder, ladies and gentlemen, limited tickets are still available for Saturday night's fight here at the Honda Center in Anaheim, California. Go to Ticketmaster.com. Tickets start at only $44, and you can catch the pay-per-view live on DAZN, Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr.
I need you guys to fucking...
Okay, now we're ready for our first fight. The last fight, rather, of the preliminary card. Please welcome to the stage, she's 10-0, fighting out of Sonora, Mexico, Yolanda Vega. And her opponent, the 18-time World Boxing Champion, Holly Holm.
A fascinating matchup to finish off our preliminaries. Holly Holm, a legend, getting back into the boxing game after a long layoff, taking on Yolanda Vega. Not a bad way, Claudia, to finish up the preliminaries.
Nope, it's an extraordinary way, and another demonstration that MVP is really supporting
10
women's
rounds
boxing.
in the women's lightweight division. And now back to the stage, Floyd Schofield and Tevin Farmer.
Now, if you weren't excited about this fight before the press conference, you've got to be amped up for it right now. Floyd Schofield, Tevin Farmer going at it verbally in the press conference. And I think, Claudia, they're going to go at it in the ring on Saturday. Tevin, loads of experience, former champion. And Floyd Schofield Jr., top young prospect, top young fighter, looking to make a name for himself in this showdown.
Yes, and obviously he's looking to erase that little situation back in Saudi Arabia. He wants to make sure that he comes in full throttle against a fighter that's always game. And we've seen him in so many fights that he always puts everything in play. Look at that. Oh.
Tevin Farmer's lost his last 3 fights, but they have been highly competitive and they have been against top competition. Does Floyd Schofield Jr. have the requisite
Could be your fight of the night, ladies and gentlemen. The first battle
like
on the
Farmer.
pay-per-view card, 10 rounds in the lightweight division. And now back to the stage, Avius Griffin. And his opponent, Julian Rodriguez.
Plenty of spice in this matchup between Avius Griffin and Julian Rodriguez. I think Julian Rodriguez was pretty dismissive of Avius Griffin, who's got a glossy resume, but has not faced high-level competition. Already, though, you can see huge size advantage for Avius Griffin in this fight.
And look at the reach in Avius. That's basically his claim to fame right there. Nice, long jab. But I got to tell you, Julian Rodriguez, coming from Hoboken, New Jersey, we know the kind of attitude that he has outside the ring. That is going to trickle into the ring.
That'll be our second fight of the pay-per-view card, 10 rounds in the welterweight division. And now back to the stage, Victor Rodriguez.
We don't have a lot of fighters coming from Uruguay.
And his opponent, Raul Curiel.
Victor Rodriguez against Raul Curiel. Raul Curiel, of course, was part of one of the best fights of 2024. Alexis Rocha said he needed a rest, wanted to come back on his own time. He's done that, Claudia. Now he's back in the ring against Victor Rodriguez, trying to take one step closer to winning a world title.
16-0, 1 draw, 9 KOs. There's a saying, garra charrúa. That means the claw from Uruguay. They are known for being gritty and just relentless.
That's a 10-rounder in the WBA welterweight division. And now back to the stage, the challenger, Yuniel Dorticos.
I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Revenge is like the sweetest joy. Picture paragraphs unloaded.
And the man who will be defending his World Cruiserweight Championships, the champion, Gilberto Ramirez.
A fascinating matchup in the cruiserweight division. Gilberto Ramirez has looked like a superstar in 3 fights at cruiserweight, but Claudia, he's fighting a guy that was on the cusp of being a superstar back in the days of the World Boxing Super Series. The KO doctor, Yuniel Dorticos, does he have enough left in the tank to pull off a win against Zurdo Ramirez?
This is a man who's overcome so many things in his life. He's right now a single father, and he realizes that this is his last chance. And I said it at the very beginning of the show. Power, your punching power is the last thing you lose. And the kind of workout that he puts in together every day of his life is not only for him or a title, it's because of his family.
Yuniel Dorticos knows this is probably going to be his last shot at a world championship. Won 3 fights in a row. Now he's in there looking to become a 2-belt world champion.
That is for the WBA and WBO Cruiserweight Championship of the World.
Selling drugs, we all wrapped up in this living like studs. To my homeboys and click backs, doing they deal. Raise hell to this real shit and feel this when they turn out the lights.
And now it's time for our main event stare down. Introducing first from Ciudad de Mexico, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
All through your body, blows like a 12-gauge shot.
And fighting out of Dorado, Puerto Rico, the problem child, Jake Paul.
Well, here we go. Jake Paul back looking to pick up his 12th professional win. And the big question coming into this fight, what does Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. at 39 years old have left in the tank? If there's something there, a lot of people in the fight game think he's got a great chance to knock off Jake Paul. If he doesn't, there's an even better chance he gets knocked out.
Probabilities are there. Possibilities are even more. But the one thing I can tell you, I have never seen seniors so calm. I have never seen juniors so relaxed, to the point that he hasn't allowed Jake Paul to get under his skin. Maybe this is the difference in his life, because he has made a massive change in his everyday life.
You can see Jake Paul, size advantage, a more natural cruiserweight. Julio Cesar Chavez was a middleweight champion more than a decade ago, coming up to fight Jake Paul in the cruiserweight division.
A reminder, you can see Saturday Night Showdown live from Anaheim, California in the Honda Center, exclusively around the world on DAZN. Thank you everyone for being here live in attendance. We'll see you tomorrow night for the weigh-in as we get set for Saturday night, Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr.
An outstanding fight on Saturday between Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. But before that, we've got the weigh-in Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, right here in Anaheim, California. And then on Saturday, the prelims begin at noon Pacific time, 3 o'clock Eastern time, a stacked preliminary card headlined by Holly Holm's return to the boxing ranks. And on fight night, 5 o'clock Pacific time, 8 Eastern is when we kick off the card. Tevin Farmer taking on Floyd Schofield Jr. All part of a stacked card on Saturday night and part of a credible schedule here on DAZN. FIFA World Cup continues live June 14th all the way up to July 13th. Underway now, Juventus and Manchester City playing in Orlando. A lot of great action in the FIFA World Cup live on DAZN. Well, Claudia, just an outstanding press conference, a lot of buzz in the building after that thing. And what did you take away from Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. going into this fight?
That very nonchalant attitude, like he's not going to allow Jake Paul to get under his skin. I think his dad was even a little bit more shook than Junior. And again, this is a man on a mission, looking for that second chance or third or fourth, whichever many you want to say, because this is the opportunity for him to get on the big stage. And he said something that was very curious. He's capitalizing on the type of visibility and exposure he's going to get through Jake Paul.
Yeah, one thing that Tevin Farmer said up there on the dais that a lot of fighters have said to me over the last couple of weeks when I've asked them about Jake Paul against Julio Cesar Chavez, if Chavez Jr. is in the right frame of mind, if he has taken his training seriously, he is more than just a threat to beat Jake Paul. They believe he's going to beat Jake Paul. And you kind of heard some of that. Like Tevin Farmer didn't want to go too far when he's up there on a stage with Jake Paul. Raul Curiel, his former stablemate over at the Wildcard Gym, he didn't want to go too far either. But these fighters know. They've been around Chavez Jr. When he's right, he's a pretty good fighter. He was a world champion for a reason. He gave Sergio Martinez hell. He went 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. The question's going to be if he is in the right frame of mind and how seriously he took this training camp.
Big if. Big if. We were not there every day. We had a chance to go into a little bit of the camp, but you know, anybody can hold mitts for 30 seconds. So my point is, we've been in this position before. What's different now? And when I asked him yesterday about that, he just kind of dodged the question. So I don't know.
I think it's going to be an outstanding fight.
I think it's going to go. Yes.
I think it's going to go into the later part of this fight, and then we're going to find out: can Jake Paul win a fight 10 rounds, 3-minute rounds? He's going to have to go into some deep waters, I think, to beat Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. It's going to get very interesting on Saturday. It might get interesting tomorrow, too, as well, here at the weigh-in, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 o'clock Eastern. Jake Paul, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. will hit the scales. Tevin Farmer against Floyd Schofield Jr. will open up the main card of this event. A lot coming your way right here on DAZN.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Everyone's got something to say.
There is a new king of violence, and his name is Jake Paul.
But with every comment, a fighter grows stronger. One is defending a name, the other is building one. The ring doesn't care where you come from, only if you can survive in it. Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.